Hey, it's Mark with another Super Bowler Smash Attack video, and this one we have a Offset Town Hall, and it's the base is otherwise somewhat boxy, which I normally like to see because it typically makes it pretty easy to path the Super Bowler army. So first we have to decide if we can take the town hall with the Flame Flinger, and that's not going to happen. There's way too much around here. The town hall is not really off on one side, and there's so many defense around here. Plus, anytime there's an expo, bad news. So that's not an option. The other expos, just to see where they are at, there's two over here, and there's one kind of off towards the outside here. And so the three corners really where the entry can happen is 12, 3, and 6. So the flinger is going to go on one of those corners. And I probably would not want to have the flinger come in at 12 just because of this expo so near to the one side. If I have a better option, I will come in another way. These expos are all air, which is helpful because they don't have as big of a range. They still have a decent range, but the ground expos are just, their range is just ridiculous. And so really 6 o'clock then would be where I would be thinking about putting the Flame Flinger. One reason why is because of the single inferno there. The Grand Warden is just going to have problems with that, and the Flame Flinger can take that down very easily. And I like how there's this big kind of compartment here. This compartment with the single inferno. The flinger can take down all those buildings, and it really cuts out a nice corner for funneling. And so that means the Warden at 3 o'clock, and the Warden should be able to go through all of these buildings pretty easily too. It isn't really until getting to the expos where the Warden would have some trouble. The other thing that's good about coming in from this side is it is my favorite side to attack from, after all, but it does have the queen over there as well. So it is nice to be able to take down any heroes with the main smash of the army. And so the queen is there. I can bring in the headhunter the same time as the smash army. And the king is in the core as well. So the smash army should be able to get to the king. And the royal champion is it's more off to this corner a little bit, but the range of it is still in the center core as well. And so the Super Bowlers would probably be able to take out, good chance they could take out the royal champion as well. So there are some things that are kind of helpful for this particular attack. The walling, if we just kind of think about how the pathing is going to work for the Super Bowlers to get to the town hall, we have to get through these buildings here, through these walls, and a super wall break. It's kind of tough to know what is going to happen with a super wall break here, and because it's hard to tell when you're attacking live on the Legends attack, because you have to decide so quickly. But this wall, I think this walling, it stops there, so it's not a full it's not a closed off compartment that these buildings are in, the archer tower, cannon, and archer tower. If I think though that this wall is big enough, even though it's not a closed off compartment, that a super wall break is going to go for one of these buildings to try to break open the wall. So I don't think I can get the super wall break to actually get to this wall here to help me out with pathing the super bowlers in. And so I will end up having to use, so the range of a jump spell is 3.5 for the radius, and so 7 altogether, the entire diameter. And if these were, so normally you can tell pretty quickly is by, these defenses are 3x3s. So if you have 2 of them together, that's 6. And if you have 6 with walls on either side, you can jump over that with one jump spell. But when there's a wall in between them, that means that it's 7. And so 7 is the exact diameter of the jump spell. I think what ended up happening is I don't think a jump spell will work to get over, both these outside walls. Because if you place it perfectly, it's not going to be able to touch both of those walls at the same time. You probably be able to get the jump to touch one of the walls, but not both of them. It's really 6. If there's a spacing of 6, then one jump is okay. So it's kind of not the greatest here. I'm really going to need to, at least as I'm going into this attack, I'm thinking I'm going to need to jump like where the queen is, or like in between these 2 defenses, just to jump over that compartment, and then put a jump between the queen and the expo to be able to jump over that next compartment. So it's going to be, the jump spells are going to be overlapping just to be able to get into that core area. But once the army gets into this core area, it has access to a lot of the key buildings. The eagle. It's a decent size core, but it's not massive. But the eagle and the scattershot, and of course the town hall, and if the super bowlers are, while they're raged up and taking down the town hall, good chance that that expo was also going to go down, just because of the triple bounce range of the super bowlers. So some good things about the way that this attack could go. So let's get the attack started, and you can see then from 6 o'clock is the Yeti, and I held off a little bit on the Flame Flinger just because of that multi-mortar over there. I wanted to make sure the Yeti got in a little bit before putting down the Flame Flinger. I don't want the Flame Flinger getting targeted at all by that multi-mortar. That would be really bad. And the Yeti did not quite take out that multi-mortar. I tried to see if I could take it out with the wizard, but no go. And the Yeti takes it out. I did take a couple of shots from that multi-mortar with the Flame Flinger. Not the end of the world. They still got decent health, so I don't think they were direct shots maybe either. 146, so I'm bringing in the main army, the ice golems in first, the king behind to pull the warden with the super bowlers, and the queen just to help with the funneling. The queen got that archer tower, and I put the 2 jumps down, just like I mentioned. Rage up the troops coming in. Queen is down. And here come the clan castle troops. I normally don't do anything about those super loons. The queen will take those out, and they get frozen by the ice golems typically. In comes the royal champion to take out the expo. freeze the town hall. The super bowlers are raged. Help out the troops in the core with that freeze. And I put down that skeleton spell to distract the hero and that single at the same time. A freeze to help out the royal champion on that single inferno. And now the queen is punching through the wall. I actually got quite a bit of value out of that Flame Flinger. It's just opening now. And the queen kind of gets topped off with health sometimes when she's going through walls. So sometimes it can be actually kind of somewhat of a good thing if the queen gets held up by a wall, but usually it's not good because it just slows her down way too much. But there's plenty of troops left, and queen has got access to everything here in the end. And so this is going to be no problem at all. This is actually quite easy, and it was a fairly quick attack too for a super bowler smash attack.